Welcome to another episode of Sports Talk. And once again, I do kind of apologize for the infrequent nature of these videos. But as you know, I have taken a interest in the continued drama of the Arizona Coyotes and now the new NHL team in Utah, thanks to the overnight sale of the said franchise. I think that was long overdue. The Coyotes have been a hot mess since they went to the Valley of the Sun, due a lot to just poor ownership, and they just continue to burn bridges throughout the entire process. And playing in Mullet Arena, designed for Arizona State hockey, just not advantageous for NHL. And they realized there was nothing happening imminent, and they had to get out of there. But they left the window open for the Coyotes to return, the possible expansion franchises. I think they covered that in other videos as well. So we'll see how things kind of play out. This deals with the Smith Entertainment Group and their desires to get an NHL team in Utah. They have the team, they have the players. Right now they need to come up with the name, the logo, the color scheme, and whatnot. And they finally came down with their list of 20 finalists, where the fans will get to choose which teams to come up with. This is directly from the site itself. Our NHL team is here. Help us select a name. I'll make sure I put a link to that site in the description below. Probably pin it as a comment. Make sure I put it somewhere on the screen as well, so you can actually go look for yourself. Continuing, Utah's NHL team is for the community and will be named with the help from the community. A partnership with Qualtrics, the leading feedback and experience management provider, and Doubleday and Cartwright, a highly acclaimed creative consultancy and design studio. Smith Entertainment Group has created a multi-phase branding process for fans to vote on the name. The first round starts, actually started a couple days ago by the time this video came out, and will last until May 22nd. We invite fans to vote for up to 4 preferred names from a list of 20 options, which have been compiled through the initial survey issued on social media. Each fan can only vote one time. I'm sure there's ways around that. We will announce the next round of the fan favorite and more details on future steps in the name selection process later this summer. Qualtrics will employ the best practice survey research methodology to ensure fairness, accuracy, and unbiased results, include randomization, geolocation identification, progressive discrete choice analysis, the prevention of ballot box stuffing, encrypted data collection and storage, back-end analytics, and will also include the publication and best practice statistical methods to ensure data integrity. Utah's NHL franchise will don jersey that will display Utah during their inaugural season. Once a team name has been selected, the Smith Entertainment Group will work diligently to craft the team identity, logo, mascot, colors, and other branding elements, which will debut for the 2025-2026 NHL season. Let us know what you think of the names now, so we have your input, and we will get closer to finalizing the name for Utah's NHL franchise. Now, I'm sure they have a list of names or a preferred name they really, really want. I have a feeling I know which one that one is. But looking at the list of names, the 20 names, there's a lot of cold weather aspects to these names. There's also a few to deal with the skiing, which I understandable. Other things dealt with wildlife, some personnel's in there. Things delved on about the state nickname as well. and some other odds and entities in there. And we're kind of going through this list. This is the list it was randomized to me at the time frame. Screenshotted it, and these are the names we're going to go with. Let's go ahead and start with the Utah Ice. Generic name. I don't think they'll work with a NHL team. They could work with a ECHL team, maybe AHL team. I don't see working any higher than that. The Utah Mammoth. This is definitely one that I am starting to grow to like, and one that could actually play off of stuff and really develop a really, really unique logo. Probably a little bit better than the Hampton Roads Rhinos when the NHL's attempts of expansion way back at the turn of the century when Nashville and Atlanta and Minnesota all showed up. But I like the idea. It gives you a nice an animal name that has no S, like Kraken. You play on that one. If you worry about cross league action, there is a Mammoth team name out there, but they play in the National Lacrosse League, which is a minor professional league of indoor lacrosse or box lacrosse, depending where you're from. They're successful. Kroenke, the owner of the Rams, also owns the Mammoth. He also owns the Avalanche, too. So he actually had all three of his teams win their league titles. So he had a pretty good couple of years going. So you just kind of avoid some of the marketing that they use. You definitely won't use the same color scheme because it's color Avalanche colors, so you won't be using that. You probably use more Utah Jazz colors. You incorporate the mountains, the tusk, and develop a good mascot in terms of that. I really like that name. That's, I think, the list of the 20, that's my number one choice. Utah Fury, another kind of generic name, but it's definitely a name that you can use different aspects for the mascot. You can use like a bear or wolves or mythological creatures like a yeti or something along those lines. You can really thrive and utilize that. But it's a very generic name. Doesn't really instill any fear, I guess you could really say. Definitely one of those team names you don't consider NHL level or the Big Five if you include Major League Soccer. So, I think this one's kind of left out. Blizzard, another generic name, but I think a name that could definitely work because it is a weathered pattern like a hurricane, lightning, avalanche. Now you have the blizzard. Plus, you have the added bonus of using the double Z in blizzard to incorporate something like the Utah Blizz. I know, generic and corny. I get it. Go along with the Utah Jazz so he can play with that double Z. And again, actually, I think it could work. Once again, if you utilize Blizzard, you can actually use like a bear logo. Maybe throw in a wolf in there, some along those lines. You use some type of animal to kind of bring out the Blizzard name. The name that everyone likes, but I hate, the Yeti. Utah Yeti. Not Yetis. They went Utah Yeti. Now, does it roll off the tongue? Absolutely. Does it fall in line with the Seattle Kraken? Absolutely. I get getting behind this. However, a Yeti is not known to be in the Rockies. It's known to be in the Himalayas. The Kraken is a nautical, mythological creature, yes, that derived from Greek, Roman, and Norse mythology, and then translated to other groups of people throughout the world through sailors. It was even the movie, Pirates of the Caribbean. So it has a lot of interactions and retelling and reshaping, but always known as a tentacle creature. And there was a squid that's called a kraken that can fit that bill. So once again, I get the idea of the name. It rolls off the tongue. It's easy to say. You could really get behind it, really develop a branding behind that. Totally understand it. I personally do not like it. The Utah Blast. Now, this one I had to think a little bit, but then it dawned on me pretty quickly why you call it a blast. A lot of times you blast into the mountain to create your mine shafts to extract your copper, your gold, your silver. You can blast tunnels for your trains to run through, or blast to create ravines so you don't have to go build a tunnel or go around a certain object. You just blast your way through. A lot of times you blast buildups high up on mountains to control avalanche to create more safety features for your skiers when they show up. So there's definitely 3 different areas go there, but terminology of a hockey team or an NHL hockey team, no. I have to pass on that one. Mountaineers. Now this one could be interesting. I got them outside the 4 because if you pick 4, I got them on the outside. I like the concept to kind of go with it. It just seems a long name. You can't really shorten it to really make any sense. We'll call them the Neers, the Mounts. I mean, it just, because you look at a team name like the Buccaneers of the NFL, well, they're called the Bucks. The Diamondbacks of baseball, they're the D-backs. We have a tendency to find ways to try to shorten team names so they have a long team name. And with Mountaineers, you can't do that. You do that with the Islanders. They're called the Isles. Your Hurricanes, the Canes. I mean, so that aspect, I have to think I'll probably pass on Mountaineers, but I do like where it's going. I do like the concept behind it. The Outlaws. I think this one has a lot of potential. I also, one of the team names I would pick moving forward. And nice play of words. You can develop a nice logo, utilizing hockey sticks somewhere along the lines. Dive into the Old West mythos of what an outlaw looked like. Incorporate that into hockey. I think these old Central Hockey League had a Kansas City Outlaws, had a great logo to utilize with that. I think I utilized that when I created, expanded the NHL before, a few videos back about that. So it can actually work and actually really incorporate a lot of things with the franchise and move forward. Caribou. Another name I am not very fond of either. I get trying to get some of these animal names in there. And caribou, I don't think of Utah. I'm thinking like Scandinavia. If they went with elk, maybe, but otherwise, I think that one's going to be a miss for me as well. The Utah Frost. Another reference to the cold. I don't see that as a NHL team name. It's definitely something you see lower league hockey, maybe junior hockey. So definitely not for the NHL. Hard pass. Squall. It's a type of storm you can get, snowstorm you can get in the mountains, and very geocentric type of name. Has a connotation to another derogatory terminology we use for Native American women. That's a squaw. So I doubt that go that direction. So that one's also a hard pass as well. Freeze, another cold weather name. And hard pass on that one. Now, there was a women's soccer team at one point in time that was called the Utah Freeze. They used the 2Z at the end instead of the E. And that team went away. Now they have a new team there. But don't like this one either. This is another one I would have that team name for AHL, ECHL, SPHL, junior leagues. I mean, this is some along those alleys can make it a fun, friendly type of mascot to really bring in the kids, make it a family affair. But I don't see it there. Utah Hive. Now, this plays on the Beehive State nickname. As we all know, or some of you do know or don't know, Utah is known as the Beehive State. They incorporate the beehive on the state trooper badges. Also, their highway system and road markers are beehive. So it's an integral part of the state of Utah, and I can see it can actually work. The hive, common collective of the organization itself, and the players, the trainers, the coaches, the ownership, the personnel in the back, all working together for a common purpose to win the Stanley Cup. I get the whole concept behind that. I think this is the better name to go with. The Utah Hockey Club, generic, European, and I think it will be unique for the NHL. I'll give them that. I don't think it's going to work, unlike Major League Soccer that kind of goes with, the athletic club or football club. That works for Major League Soccer because they're trying to be more aligned with other pro soccer leagues across the world. It doesn't work the same way in hockey, because if you look at a lot of hockey leagues across the world, there's a lot of them that do follow the same concept as we do here in the NHL. Some of them kind of try to do their own identity like you do some of the European leagues. I don't think it's going to work here. Utah Canyons. Yes, Utah has Canyon National Park. They have lots of canyons. Doesn't work well for a hockey name or sports name in general. The Venom. This one I kind of battle back and forth with. I have it on the outside in because it's a broad aspect, and I think I see why, because you have a lot of venomous species in the state of Utah. You have the Gila monsters, which is the state reptile. You have spiders, rattlesnakes, scorpions, technically bees. They have venom in their stings. If you get enough bee venom into you, depending if you're allergic or not, you can actually die. So I get where all the venom's coming from. I can see the animals you can try to utilize to create your mascot. So the concept behind that I get, and I actually want to see where that kind of leads and kind of goes to, and kind of what's going to transpire with that. Right now, like the Mountaineers, I have them on the outside looking in, but I might switch them with a Blizzard just because of there's so many different variations you can go with this particular name. Powder, it's named for the snow that skiers use. You make sure you have fresh powder. Not for a professional hockey team. Glaciers. I get that because during the Ice Age, the glaciers moved down, covered a lot of areas in Utah to create the canyons, or help form the canyons. No. I mean, I've noticed they've had ice caps, ice breakers in the AHL before. I'm just not a fan of the glaciers. I don't think there's a glacier in the state of Utah. So here's that one. The Black Diamonds. Now I was like trying to think of where they were getting this, and I was like, once again, another skiing reference. A Black Diamond's a type of route for the most experienced skiers, because you have to be really quick on your feet, very agile to navigate the terrain of black diamond routes. It could be really cool design. I can foresee that. Just I don't see it being a very. I don't think it'll work for the NHL. I get the concept. I can see where this is going. I mean, it can look really good. Throw a little black in there. Some dark green. Get some white in there. Kind of really play with those colors to kind of get everything going. But I'll pass on that one. And another one I think it's going to be high on the list is the Utah Swarm. And once again, play into the bee aspect of the Beehive State moniker of the state of Utah. Play with that bee mascot and kind of develop that like you do with the hive and even the venom. And I think the swarm's better because nothing's more ferocious than a swarm of bees, more painful than a swarm of bees. And it can actually work out. And I think it could be you can do it very ferocious. Make sure you don't make it too cartoony. That could be the only drawback with this type of name. Site, vote for 4 to send up. I think I know where the group it really wants to go. They want to go with Yeti. They want to piggyback on the Kraken. I get it. I wish they wouldn't. I like Mammoth, Swarm, Outlaws, and a cross between Blizzard and Venom for that fourth one. Mountaineers, I got them on the outside looking in. Fury, I got them on the outside looking in. And beyond that, all the other team names I don't see working. I'm not a fan of the Yeti, but I'm not following that team name. I don't live in Salt Lake City. I know a lot of people do like it. I get the draw to it. It rolls off the tongue. You can be creative with the mascot, whatnot. All the other ones I really like as well. Like I think I want to see the Mammoth really come forward and be out there. I think that'd be a very cool name for the team, as well as Swarm. I think those are my 2 favorite right there. The Outlaws definitely should be in the running. And like I said, for me, Venom, Blizzard, battling for that 4th position. But hey, let me know what you think your top 4 are. Definitely should be interesting to see how this transpires and which colors they kind of utilize. If you go to post to post, I know he's done one. We kind of went over particular colors, trying to figure out the color schemes. It's going to be in the Central Division, trying to make sure that they don't incorporate too many colors that's shared with the division rivals. Interesting take on that one. He's a big proponent for the Utah Yeti. As much as I talk about it, so like I'm supporting it. No, I just have Yeti derangement syndrome. Anyways, but let me know what you think of the team names. Which ones? What are your top 4? Let's have a conversation and let's mix it up. More we interact with each other, the better the algorithm is. Better this video gets pushed out to the masses. Once you're there, you like what I'm doing, you're still stuck around to the end, hit that thumbs up for me. It really helps me out. Truly appreciate it. Nothing you can actually do help this channel out. Just subscribe. Not many of you are subscribed. I get it. I don't post a lot of videos a lot of times except for football season. But I do kind of like do these videos here and there. It really helps me out. It doesn't cost you a dime. The only thing you have to do is hit that subscribe button, click that bell icon, turn on notifications so next time I post any more content on my channel. And I will see you next time on Chat Sports Talk.